Hi, and welcome along to the best of enemies. Hey, you're looking trim though.
You've been running from the show.
Don Robbie is here in Saudi Arabia.
Man.
What about your team?
It's not about Man United right now.
I'm on Saudi Arabia, man. They ain't gonna let me down. What an exciting game.
You were robbed.
You weren't robbed.
I was offside.
We are here today for the burial of Arsenal's Premier League dreams.
How you doing, Rob? How are you, bro?
Well, none of you two can talk to me because at least we challenge for the league. Al Riyadh, they're taking on Al Nassr today. Big game. One of the biggest games of the season.
Do you know how shameless you are, bro? You're supposed to be winning the league, but you're doing a hate-along, bro.
I've been chased by a tractor. You've brought in opera singers. When you say Tottenham, you put respect on us.
Depart the room for about the next 5 minutes or so.
How?
Because we're going to talk about the Champions League. Who would have thought a Tottenham fan, a Manchester United fan, and an Arsenal fan would get along? Well,
Yes, everybody, welcome back to DR Sports. Welcome back to Live at 5, where we dissect all of the latest football drama going on in the football world, of course, here at DR Sports. And we have some breaking news on Gabriel's injury. We'll get into it in a second, but I quickly want to introduce my co-host today. It's Laurie. He's back once again. How you doing?
I'm good, although it's very cold outside. It's almost as cold in here as it is outside, which is disappointing.
You've got a heater down next to you, don't you?
Yeah, but if I didn't have,
I'm
thawing out, bro. Trust me.
I'm in here. I'm in gym clothes and this clothes, trying to keep warm over here. But yeah, as some of you guys in the comments are talking about, there is some breaking news on Gabriel's injury for Arsenal. So, as a lot of you know, Brazil played. Who do they play? Senegal. Thank you. Played Senegal, beat them 2-0. My boy Casemiro scored a lovely goal. But basically, in the 65th minute, Gabriel in the friendly at the Emirates came off. And what's happened is David Ornstein, in the last 15 minutes, alongside others in the Athletic, have come out and said that sources briefed on the injury, speaking on the condition of anonymity, as they were not authorised to do so publicly, says further tests are required to discover the full extent of Gabriel's injury, but initial examinations suggest he will miss a month or two. And they further add that Gabriel's injury comes at a busy period for Arsenal, who play at least 14 games in the next 8 weeks. So we were sat here on Live at 5 yesterday, as we are every day, 5 till 6 p.m, and you said, let's wait to hear what's said, right? You said that to me. I was sat right there. Now we've heard what's said. Yeah. You before were saying, not too worried about it. You got some players who can come in who can who can help, manage it. But 1 to 2 months, potentially up to 2 months. That's different to what you were thinking, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, get well soon, Gabby. It's really sad news, not just for Arsenal, but obviously on a personal level for him. He'd be devastated. But yeah, it's very disappointing, man. I mean, yeah, like I said yesterday, he wasn't sure of the exact nature of the injury. I was hoping that he'd be fit for the Tottenham game, and I was thinking that even if he is out, could probably be 1, 2, 3 weeks at the most. But this,
it's at least a month here. So it feels like potentially, basically, January is when he's coming. Like January is about 6 weeks away. That's a middle ground of when Gabby could be back. And for those asking what the source is, it's David Ornstein. It's the Athletic. So just take it as absolute bomber fact. But yeah, all the way until January. Like, this is the busiest period of the year as well. Like, obviously, Arsenal, you've been playing twice a week in most weeks in Carabao Cup, international competition, European competition, and also Premier League. But now there's 6 Premier League games in December.
Well,
and we're talking...
It's 3 big games in a week next week.
That's true as well. He's missing Spurs, missing Bayern, missing some other big games.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's as bad as it gets in terms of news. However, the one positive I would say is that... given the depth of the squad, and we spoke about this yesterday, I mentioned it, we do have replacements. We have a certain Nkapie to come in, who is a left-sided centre-back, who has shown already that he's a very good player. He's experienced. He has the physical attributes. Okay, he's not quite at the level of Gabriel, I would say, both in terms of his ability and what he means to the team in terms of leadership and even set-piece goals and stuff like that. But I am confident that Nkapie can come in and do a good job. I certainly don't think he'll let us down. But even so, it's still very disappointing news, to say the least.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I just want to say quickly, for those guys who are watching, I want to get your reaction as well. Obviously, live at 5 here. My name is Dylan. I'm your host today, as I am every day live at 5. And I want to hear what you have to say as well about this. There's both, get your super chats in. We've got super chats coming in already. But also, right below me, there is a WhatsApp number. If you want to send your video reactions, voice note reactions, or messages into here, get it on, go text that WhatsApp number, send your video in, send your voice note in, any of that, get it in, and then if it's a good video, we'll put it up on screen to me and Laurie to react to it live, or maybe tomorrow, if you send it towards me and Abby are also doing some hot takes tomorrow as well. So if you got any hot takes, anything you want said on DR Sports, send your videos in and everything, and we'll play them tomorrow or throughout the week. But there are some super chats coming in about this because it's big news. It's really big news. We've got Alex Smith saying, Gabby is out, panic stations for 2 months, no. Not quite sure if he's saying no panic or if he's saying there is going to be panic. We also got Amazing James says, if Arsenal still keep winning, what will the haters say now? That's a good point. That is a good point. Obviously, this is the most well-rounded Arsenal squad we've seen in, a decade, at least, I'd say. Or maybe more than a decade, probably since, the early noughties, realistically. So there's more cover than possible. But how big is it to lose a leader like that? You mentioned you're losing someone who is one of your top goal scorers purely because of the way you play. Someone who also stops you conceding so many goals. You conceded it's 0 goals in 7 games and then 2 in the last 8 if you want to count the other couple games. It's going to be hard. I think it might be a hard one for Arsenal players to get over.
Yeah, listen, the absence will be felt. There's no doubt about that. Like you said, he's not only a very good player, but he's also very influential. He's one of our leaders. We spoke about how good he is on set pieces. And then the partnership he has with Saliba that they've formed, arguably the best centre-back pairing in Europe. So there's no doubt that he's going to be missed. It's a big miss. However, like I said before, we do have one of the things that gives me confidence about this season is the squad depth. And we've spoken about that at length on these shows, in these forums. Now we're about to find out just how deep that squad depth is because, it's a big miss.
Well, you've already had a couple. You've got Gyökeres, Odegaard, Madueke, Martinelli. You've Havertz as well. You've already had a number of players out for periods this season.
That's right.
And this does seem. I might be putting my conspiracy hat here on a little bit, but this happens almost every season at Arsenal, doesn't it? You get a series of injuries. Is there a potential a systematic, not maybe systematic, a more deeper reason for all these injuries happening all the time? Or is it just a case of players play so many football matches now that it's bound to happen no matter what?
Yeah, I think the latter is probably the truth. I mean, some people have suggested in previous years that the injuries that we pick up could be to do with some of the training, but who are we to know, really? It was a very unfortunate incident. He was playing for Brazil. These things happen. You can't deny players wanting to play for their country. And, you're always going to get things like this happen. And whilst it's disappointing, we now have to deal with that. That is one of the vagaries of having players that play international football. It's one of the vagaries of football, full stop, injuries. So we do have to deal with it. But we're better placed to deal with this than we have been in previous years, if that makes sense. So I'm still confident.
You confident that you can get through this?
Yes.
So okay, I'm going to bring up
because don't forget
your next set of fixtures.
Play left back. Sorry, centre back too.
Yeah, Calafiori could play centre back, but he was injured with Italy, but it seems like he's fine. He just left the camp prematurely. But so it's your next few games. You got Spurs at home, Bayern at home, Chelsea away, Brentford at home, Villa away, Club Brugge away, Wolves at home. And then up until the end of the year, then Everton away, Palace at home, Brighton at home, Villa at home. And that's the end of the year. But it's the second half of December seems very dealable. You're playing against Wolves, Everton, Brighton, Villa, Bournemouth, Liverpool, even beginning of the year. These are teams that you probably should be beating. But it's the next few. So it's not even just Gabriel goes, you can get into a new rhythm, and then you can go and face these bigger teams again once you're in rhythm again. It's Gabriel's gone, and immediately you're playing Spurs, Bayern, Chelsea. That. Surely that's going to be really hard for you guys to compensate for. Hincapié, so it'll be likely Hincapié therefore is coming in, and then how is he going to deal with this?
No, but you got to remember, Hincapié is no spring chicken. He's not like he's a 18-year-old, 19-year-old guy from the academy suddenly been elevated to first team football. Hincapié is a very good player in his own right, We spoke about it yesterday, like Bayer Leverkusen, title winner, international, played for Ecuador several times. This guy can play. And physically, he's also up to it. Very quick, very strong, loves the tackle. He'll fit straight in. I've got no doubts about that. So that does give me some optimism going forward. I think that I think we'll be all right. I mean, obviously, as I said before, and I keep saying, Gabriel will be a miss. He's one of our most influential players at the club for a number of different reasons. However, this is Nkapie's chance to come in and show what he can do. Similarly, I might add, to what Mosquera did when he came in for Saliba, and look how he coped with that.
I got to admit, Mosquera's, it wasn't his debut against Liverpool, was it? But it was like, big games come in so quickly against Liverpool. He was fantastic.
He was.
That I will happily admit. He was very, very good. Amazing James in the comments says, everyone in the chat is so eager to bring down our confidence. It ain't working. Is that a fair assessment?
I think that is a fair assessment. Let's wait and see. I mean, listen, as I said, Nkapie, I've got belief in him. I like what I see from this guy. I saw something else the other day where they were saying that he's amongst the quickest, if not the quickest, defenders at the club. So this guy, he ain't no, like I said,
Ain't no
he's
joke.
not no wet behind the ears academy player coming in and playing his first games at top flight. No, this guy's been around for a while, albeit in another league. But listen, I'm confident. I'm optimistic.
Do you think then, so it probably may you say it'll have an effect, but just won't have too much of an effect, that it'll actually affect results?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it would be foolish of me to say that we won't miss him, because clearly we will. He's one of our best players. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
So, yes, of course there's going to be an effect there, but it's how we manage it. And I'm confident that the manager... And let's not forget as well, some of the workload that Gabriel will do will now be taken on by other players as well. So
this is, I think, the biggest test, definitely biggest test you've had so far this season. But I think in the last couple of years, because there's been so many, I've heard so many times from Arsenal fans being like, you get so close and then a major injury happens. You lose Saka at one point. Last season, obviously, you lost Saka and Odegaard at really key points last season. Seasons before that, it's been about not necessarily having the right players or not having players in place properly or fully fit, or players who are getting injured in international duty.
Well, a couple of seasons ago, we lost Saliba.
Yeah, losing Saliba, that was really,
detrimental.
really big. And that was back when your squad was much thinner.
Exactly.
Now I think it could... I don't want to be so dramatic when I say this, but the ultimate test so far that the squad and Arteta as a group have faced. Because across those seasons, it's not just that your squads got better, Gabriel's got better, and he's got more integrated into the fabric of what it is to be Arsenal under Arteta right now.
Sure.
So it's, as you say, that you're not losing just a player on the pitch, you're losing a leader, you're losing someone off the pitch, you're losing someone who's so crucial to the way you play so much of your football. But some of the comments are very, very much backing up Nkapie, just as you are, backing up Nkapie to get it done. Is that Nkapie's also got on set pieces, as you've said, he's quick. Kevy says, I'm really looking forward to seeing how Nkapie fits in, I have to be honest, speedy recovery for Gabby, though. So, but Jack says, Gabriel 2 months, then we are done. But I think so, just for those of you who might have missed, obviously the title says Gabriel 2 months injury. What it is the Athletic have come out and broken the news that Gabriel is set for further tests with a thigh injury, with fears that he will miss up to 2 months of football, so between 1 and 2 months, which we're kind of saying effectively end of the year. If you've got to do further tests, it means there's something there. Same with I'm seeing with Sesko. So obviously the news with Sesko at the moment is that for United, my team, he is out for about 3 weeks with injury, but that's 5 weeks. That's a 5-week injury, because obviously it's been almost a week and a half, 2 weeks since he got injured. But it's once you get that second round of tests, it means something. And does this speak to the kind of uselessness of international friendlies, that this kind of thing can happen?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. But as I said earlier, Dylan, you cannot deny a player the opportunity to represent his national side, especially in World Cup year. I mean, Gabriel will be very aware that there are players, snapping at his heels, wanting to get in that team. And it's big for any Brazilian player to play for the national team. That's seen as, the pinnacle, and quite rightly so. And like I said, with a World Cup year coming up, that merely accentuates that. So you can understand why these guys want to turn down playing for their country. Who wouldn't? I'm sure if the situation was with yourself, and you got offered the opportunity to play for Wales, you're not going to turn that down, would you? So, yeah, listen, man, it is what it is. As I said before, injuries are vagaries of football. And yeah, we move. It is what it is. Unfortunately.
What's the way you want to see Arsenal set up now? Let's say, like, looking forward to this Spurs game as well, with Gabriel confirmed to be out. Calafiori, obviously he's fine, but then if you have a scare like that with Italy where you've got to leave the camp, then maybe you're thinking maybe don't play him, maybe don't start him. Well, how are you heading into this Arsenal game wanting to see them set up? Like,
if it was me personally, I'm
11-wise.
going like for like. Nketiah comes in, and then obviously
that's just it.
Yeah, like for like. And listen, Nketiah is a bit like Gabriel. He may not be as physically robust as Gabriel, or maybe he is. Only time will tell. But he does love a tackle. We do know that. He is physically strong. He is quick. He's quicker than Gabriel, actually. So, yeah, it's a like-for-like thing. I guess that's the one thing that we can take a little bit of comfort from, is that they're quite similar in the way they approach the game. They both love a tackle, both aggressive. But like I said, Nketiah, he does have one advantage over Gabriel in that he's very quick. So
it's interesting to think about the fact that Gabriel, you're missing your most important player, and for the most part, you go, "Oh, that's massive." Like, obviously, like, you're losing your de facto captain, and then the response is, "But it's fine." But then at the same time, you've lost it. I am a little more. Obviously, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm a little more worried, I think, for Arsenal than Arsenal fans are, which may just say more about me. It may just say more about me than it may say about, Gabriel or Arsenal or anything. But I do think I can't see you. There's going to be something in these next 3 games, I feel, that's going to be something Gabriel could have prevented. Like, it might not be the Spurs game. Like, the Spurs game, they're unbeaten away from home, but they're terrible at the Emirates. And that doesn't change. That won't change, I don't think. That's game. It's the Bayern game for me. You're losing Gabriel against Harry Kane. You're losing, and it's on the side with Elise as well. Like, you're losing such a player who can stop these type of, like, players who can drop deep, players who can, like, get tricky and be quick, and, like, Gabriel stops them with part of his presence. Like, the way that I see that Bayern line, that Bayern front three, are going to be looking at this in the same way that Man City do, right? Where, they smell blood. These Bayern players, like, especially the front three of Diaz. I'm not 100% sure if Diaz is fit or not. I might be waffling there, but obviously Kane and Elise.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Hear this. So Nketiah has come from the German league, having played for Leverkusen for a number of years. He would have played against Bayern. He will know how they play. So those guys you mentioned, the Kanes and the Elises and people like that, they're not an unknown quantity to Nketiah. He would know a lot about them. So.
And Nketiah, to his credit, did go unbeaten in that league with Bayern, innit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the point I'm making. That challenge will not frighten him, I wouldn't have thought.
I mean, you'd hope not. It's a massive, massive Champions
League. No, he would have played against those guys before and beaten them. You talked about the season Leverkusen had when they were the
a couple
top
of seasons
team.
ago.
Yeah,
that was a mad season. Yeah, Ronnie Dodge, big up for the super chat, says Brazil nervous that game when Casemiro went down. Yeah, so was I. I heard that Casemiro got down. What I find just with Casemiro, a quick segue into Casemiro, is that it's crazy how suddenly important and good he is again. Like, the Premier League today released a compilation of all his best bits on their channels. Like, I find it's mad. His research, like, for Brazil, he's integral. Ancelotti's going, I need more of him. He's like, I've brought Fabinho back because we need players like Casemiro. Casemiro a couple of years ago was out the Brazilian team. I thought he'd retired from international duty because he just suddenly wasn't getting called up. Now, so important for United under Amorim, so important for Brazil, and will be such a key player for Brazil in the World Cup.
But you know what that speaks to? That speaks to the old adage, form is temporary, class is
permanent. So true. Yeah, some of the Arsenal fans, they are talking about like the number of injuries that Arsenal have.
Yeah,
I know we referenced it earlier, and also anyone in the chat as well, if you guys want to get involved in your thoughts about Arsenal's injuries. Like, to me, under Ten Hag, we had so many injuries because the guy was like, if we didn't run enough against the opponent on the weekend, he'd get the players in the next day and make them run the distance that they didn't run on the weekend. Like, so you remember when we lost 4-0 to Brentford?
Yeah.
They collectively ran 19k more than we did. So the next day in training, or maybe it's 11k, the next day in training, Eric Ten Hag got all the players together and made them run the rest of that.
I would imagine that went down very popular with the
And that was in his like third week into the season, or second week into the season. And we had so many injuries under Ten Hag. Amram's come in. I think he manages the players better. We've got our injuries list at the moment, bar injuries that are impact injuries. Like, we've not really had these Mason Mount's looking fit. Luke Shaw's looking fit. Obviously, Sesko's just gone down with a knee injury, but that was an injury that's happened like due to the way he contact with the ground. That's like not a training or overuse injury. So, is there just a systematic problem with maybe the way that Arteta trains? Because it's been so many. I know we've spoken about this already, but there's just been so many of them.
Yeah, you have to ask that question simply because of the number of injuries we're picking up, and I guess it's not just Arsenal. I mean, even related to that example you just gave there of Ten Hag, that sounds quite ridiculous to me, because at the end of the day, they have your pre-season for a reason, yeah? So the players should come into the season in optimum levels of fitness. So you shouldn't have to keep running them into the ground to try and get more fitness levels out of them. If they're not running enough in the games, then to me, that's probably not because they're physically not fit. That's probably a mental thing, or the way they've been set up as a team. So yeah, and I do believe, another adage for you, that you should train smarter, not harder. In fact, I was talking to a very well-known professional boxer when we did I'm not going to name his name for obvious reasons. But yeah, we were talking about fitness and training as relates to boxing. But he did make a very good point. He said, listen, you can reach an optimum level of fitness, but then once you go over that, it's almost like you're burning your body, or you're overdoing it, overtraining.
Yeah.
He said that it's very important to establish an optimum level of fitness and know when to regulate.
It's something that Rafael Varane talks about
that's
a lot.
when you overtrain, and that leads to injuries, stress injuries, and stuff like that. So
yeah,
maybe that's something that they need to look at.
The chat, by the way, so we've got a poll up currently. If you guys want to have your say, obviously, please do. Are Arsenal in trouble? It's a simple question that the poll asks. The answers are yes, Gabriel is top, or no, they have depth. And it's 49-51. There's a very, very split opinion here. Got over 100 votes, but 51% saying that no, not in trouble, but 49% saying yes, Arsenal are in trouble. Trouble's a big word. Realistically, Arsenal aren't in trouble, but there's just a little creek has opened in the way of, like, you're a little more, what's the best word I can use here? Vulnerable is the word I'm going to use. Because at the end of the day, you've lost, arguably, your best player. At least, but one of your most important player in that spine you have. You got Rice, Raya, Gabriel, and then I'd maybe say Saka's part of that spine, obviously, when he's fit. But Christopher ZY also, he makes a great point. He says Esteval wouldn't have gotten as much time if Palmer hadn't gotten injured. It's not all negatives, especially earlier in the season. I do agree with that. Marcus Rashford wouldn't have had the career he had at United had Martial not got injured in the warm-up against Midtjylland in 2016. I believe it was 2016. But every UZU AFC says every year we lose our best players. This is just what I'm talking about. Like, it happens quite a lot. Some people are not happy with my Ten Hag comment, but I think it's true. I think that, there is, as you said, like, there's overtraining can happen at times, and it just happens a lot at Arsenal. It might just be a sacrifice that Arteta has decided is okay. Like, you train it as intensely as you can, and there will be a couple of drawbacks, i.e. an injury here or there, but your squad is so fit and so well-rounded, and so, like, there's basically no holes in it, apart from maybe striker, that it's a sacrifice worth making, because this season, clearly, it's working out.
I mean, when it comes to injuries, there's a number of ways of looking at it. It could be a freak injury, or it could be a stress-related injury where it's just too much on the body.
It seems so far. So it's still a little unclear so it's a muscle injury to his right thigh, right? Which suggests that it is, but they still need to do more examinations to check just how big it is. But to me, that doesn't seem like an impact injury. So that's something that potentially developed over the course of a couple of weeks, and it's twinged and it's gone. Because your hamstrings are often the ones that sometimes happen a little bit out of nowhere, but thigh injury just feels a little more like that's something that's maybe been on the back burner a little bit, and then it's gone, it's overgone. So then playing in a friend, if that is the case, obviously I'm speculating here. If that is the case, therefore having it happen in a friendly, that's got a sting. it was, and the fact that it was at the Emirates as well. That has to sting Arteta so much that it happened in a game that was utterly pointless in terms of
I mean, obviously,
Arsenal.
your first reaction is going to be that. But I mean, we've all heard of people getting injuries from some fairly innocuous ways. So people getting in and out of the shower, climbing up the stairs, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So what that might suggest then is that somebody who's, and this is where I talk about the stress on the body, they say that when you reach an optimum level of fitness, it's a very close line between optimum levels of fitness and being injured, because once you overdo it even slightly, that's what
It's a knife edge, isn't it?
It is. So there's so many nuances to this that it's difficult to pinpoint anything. You just have to accept that it's as I said before, it's a vagaries of professional football. There are going to be injuries. Arsenal are not the only team that this is going to happen to. What you do is you prepare for that by having a good squad with good players who can come in and act as adequate replacements. And to be fair to Arsenal, that's what they've done this season especially. So
yeah, well, this is why this is the exact moment that the signings of Nketiah and Mosquera have prepared you for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm optimistic, because we saw earlier, if we use Mosquera as an example, when Saliba was out earlier this season, there was a lot being said about that. Oh, here we go again, Saliba's out. Last time Saliba was out, you saw what happened to Arsenal. But this time we had Mosquera came in, and arguably he was just as good as Saliba for those games. So, and he looks a real find. So let's hope that Nketiah can have the same effect. I'm pretty confident that he will, actually. I do believe in it.
It's also a good way for Nketiah, or a good potential way for Nketiah to properly endear himself into Arsenal fans.
100%.
Like comebacks, but if you can give, first game covering for Gabriel, because obviously the coverage a lot will be over Gabriel as we're talking about it, because it's such a big player for Arsenal. He can then come in, keep clean sheet against Spurs, have a good game against Bayern, and then go to Chelsea and do something at Chelsea, and then suddenly, bang, he can just stay in the starting 11 for a while. Because also he's on loan. I know you said yesterday he's basically Arsenal's player, but at the end of the day, it's a loan with an option to buy 45 million. When we signed Amrabat, I remember a couple of seasons ago, that was meant to be our defensive midfielder is now sorted, and then we had the option to buy for 20 to 25 million, and then over the course of the season we realised he wasn't good enough. So this is because it's true, he wasn't. So this is such a fantastic chance for Nketiah to come in, make his name against these big teams, and go, look who, like you said, like Mosquera did. He came in against Liverpool. I know he lost the game. That was just an incredible free kick. Mosquera, apart from that, was almost flawless, replacing Saliba. Was it like the 3rd minute or something?
Yeah,
it was almost instantly, isn't it? Saliba went down. But it is a very, very good moment potentially. It's a good opportunity for him to come in. And as Christopher's also mentioned in the chat, he said some attacking players for Arsenal are close to fitness as well. Yeah, like you got Gyökeres coming back soon-ish. Was it you? I can't remember. I remember someone mentioning to me that they've heard that potentially Gyökeres is coming back soon-ish. Havertz is coming back soon. Martinelli's coming back soon. So it's
Gabriel.
I
told him my Zara story.
Yeah, you did. Gabriel, you're seeing him. Then the next week he said he was. I mean, it feels like he's going to take a while till he's probably match ready.
Up to
proper fitness towards the end of this, maybe the end of next month or something, or beginning of January. But it is, it's a week of very mixed injury news for Arsenal.
It's not great, I've got to be honest. But
Noni Madueke as well, coming back soon.
Oh yeah,
so
that's
thanks
true.
for thank you for comment.
Listen, it's not great. Injury news like this is never great. However, as I keep saying, we have to accept that it's part and parcel of Premier League football. And as I said, we're more equipped for this type of eventuality than we have been in previous seasons. So from that, I take confidence. Bring it on, mate. I do think that this next phase of the season will be crucial because, like I said, we've got injuries. But how we deal with that, it will be crucial. But I'm backing us. I'm back.
Yeah, I think, like, as we talk about Arsenal having so many defensive options
panic
now. Yeah, I think it's fair enough not to panic, at least until you see what happens in the next couple games. Like, you can trust that you have the potential for it to be absolutely fine. So you may as well see if it then all goes wrong in the next few weeks, then it's maybe, okay, we got a bit of a problem here. But if it doesn't, then happy days. Gabriel comes back whenever he does, slots back into 11, and it's all right. But
and not only that, I want to say one final point. I kind of alluded to it earlier, but when you have a situation like this where one of your senior players, one of your most coveted players is out, it's incumbent upon some of the other guys in the team to naturally take on a little bit more of the workload, whether that be leadership, whether it be in the set pieces, even the defensive work, the way we play. We might have to slightly rejig a couple of things. But yeah, I'm confident that will happen, and I think we'll be fine. I really do. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the latest on Timber as well, because I don't know if you saw, but at one point Timber went down during the injury. But it seems, from what I remember reading, it's basically got a big cut to the leg.
Yeah.
And then he was fine. So I think overall, Timber's all right, Calafiori's all right, Gabriel's the one that there's an injury concern with. But what with Arsenal is so good, obviously, we talk about is your options outside of it. And it's something that I'm seeing with United now. So today it came out, Sky Sports, or maybe it might have been yesterday, but in the last couple of days it's come out. It came out this morning from Fabrizio Romano that Sesko's set to be out for 3 weeks for us. So 3 weeks sideline with an injury, and then coming back, so therefore mid-December. And
What's the nature of the injury?
It's not overly clear, but United are very, very vague these days with their injuries.
Yeah, I think a lot of clubs are.
Yeah, a lot of clubs are, because I think it stops also people knowing where old injuries are and therefore like targeting them. So, but it's just knee. It's his right knee, I want to say. It's just maybe it's right or left knee has an injury, but to me that sounds like a bit of a sprain or a bit of a pull or something that will just ice it a couple of weeks, you'll be all right. But what I'm loving now is that this happened to us last season, where we had one day where 5 players got injured in one training session. Wow. Mainu pulled his calf, Ahmad had a freak ankle injury, and then I think Casemiro went out at one point, Yoro had an injury, I think it might have been Mazwari or Dalit as well. But it was like 1 or 2 day period. It was like just before we were playing Sociedad or something, and it was like bang, 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 they're all gone. Wow. And I looked at the squad, I went, what are we left with? We were left with Højlund, Bruno, and Garnacho as our only attacking players, and then Xerxes as well, and then Xerxes then got his hamstring injury. Yeah. But now I see Sesko's out, I see Mbumo's going to AFCON, I see Ahmad's going to AFCON, and then I'm looking at our team and going, you know what? We're actually okay. I know everyone's. I think we're affected by AFCON out of the big sides more than anybody, because obviously we're losing our top scorer, we're losing our literally our entire right hand side. Mazwari, Ahmad, and Mbuma are all going. And then Sesko's obviously out for a few to the injury. But I look at then who we have left, and I'm okay with it. It's not like we've got an Anthony left, or we've got Rasmus Højlund who's not scored in 19 games left, or Garnacho who can't hit a shot on target left. We've got Cunha's still there. Mason Mount's improved big time. We've got younger players like Shea Lacey are there. We've got Kobbie Mainoo, he's still around, and he's a good player. He's just not playing. We've got Bruno Fernandes as well, still there, can step forwards. We've got other players who, and it gives me some hope. Yeah. It gives me some hope over these next couple of games. So I may have gone a bit overboard last week when I was predicting United's next 10 games, and I think I ended up predicting we'd then get 22 out of the 30 points, because we're not playing a single Big Six side. We've got Wolves at home, Wolves away, Everton at home. Our only really sticky games are Villa away and Palace away. They're the ones, and we also got Newcastle at home as well, but Newcastle isn't massively they're having an odd season themselves. Yeah. But I do think that it's just such a nice thing to think about depth-wise for us. Oh, 100%. That we can lose these players. We can lose Brian Mbeumo, who's one of the in my opinion, one of the best attackers in the league. So this season with he's 5 goals and 2 assists he's got. And we're okay.
I think sometimes as well with injuries, it's not just the fact that they're physically absent. It's the psychological aspect of losing some of your best players like that. Once you can get your head around that, like I said, it may be that the manager has to adjust the team, the tactics. Other players might have to take on a bit more of the workload. Their roles within the team might have to change to allow for the absence of the players that you're talking about. So, yeah, man. I mean, and the other thing I would say as well, we've been saying for a while now, week after week, month after month, year after year, that the Premier League in the modern era is a squad game. It's not like back in the day when you won a championship with 11 players and 2
plus
subs.
A couple others who are here and there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's a much broader spectrum. It's a squad game, and you need to have a strong squad. They talk about 2 players for every position. I do think that there's a lot of truth in that. So, Yeah, we're about
It's
to find out.
it's the standard way to go, isn't it?
Yeah, it is,
Like two
yeah.
players. It's what we like United. Like we don't have like four midfield players who I'd always trust in our midfield too. But our midfield's a whole different story. And I'm saying that as a segue into the next thing I want to talk about, which is I want to launch a defence of Jude Bellingham. Because so you can see I'm wearing a Wales kit. I don't sound Welsh, but I support the Wales national team. We've got a massive game tonight against
The
North
name
Macedonia.
gives it away.
The name also gives it away. Dylan being an incredibly Welsh name. It means son of the ocean, son of the sea in Welsh.
Oh, right.
It's a fun fact for you. But Jude Bellingham, there's been so much talk about him. Like it feels like ever since he scored that bicycle kick to keep England, I think might have even been win England, or was it keep England in the game against, I can't remember who it was against, in the Euros a couple of summers ago. And then he scored that bicycle kick, and then he effectively just said who else at the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
The England media turned around and went, we found our new scapegoat. And I found it mad. Jude Bellingham, I think, is an awesome player. I said with Abby, admittedly, if everyone's fit and raring to go, I would want to see Palmer in the 10 over Bellingham. But just because I love Cole Palmer. But it's the same with Jude Bellingham. I do not, for the life of me, understand where this rhetoric is coming from with Bellingham's. Because so the latest thing, but Tuchel in the summer was very harsh on Bellingham before he became England manager. And obviously, so everyone was going, what's Bellingham going to do? How are they going to get on together?
Are you talking about that unfortunate remark he said when his mum said his mother finds him repulsive?
It's something along those lines. Yeah, it was before Tuchel became manager.
I think that Tuchel was bang out of order. So
and because Tuchel said that and then got appointed boss of England, with Bellingham being one of England's best young players. Like he's at Real Madrid scoring 20 goals in his debut season at the age of 21. Ridiculously good player. But then it was painted in the media, in my view, that Bellingham was furious and throwing his arms up and everything at the fact that he didn't want to be substituted during England's latest game against Albania. And I look at it and go, well, yeah. What do you want him to do? Go like, oh, fantastic decision, boss. Thank you so much. And then going, oh, he didn't celebrate Morgan Rogers' goal or whatever. And you see him come off. He goes and he high-fives Morgan Rogers and goes and sits on the bench. And everyone's like, oh, and then the media's going to Tuchel and going, what do you think of this disgraceful act by Bellingham, blah, blah, blah. And then Tuchel comes out and goes, I don't want to make more of it, but I stick to my words. Behaviour is key and respect towards the teammates who come in. Decisions are made and you have to accept that as a player. Morgan Rogers was for sure not happy with me when he couldn't start today because he deserves to play for us and he wants to play all the time. We gave him a bit of a rest because he came on a lot of minutes and played against Serbia, blah, blah, blah. But, I personally, I don't know what you guys in the comments think about all this Bellingham stuff. I don't know, do you feel he's overrated? Do you feel that he's being mistreated by the media? Do you feel that maybe he's believed his own hype a little bit? But for me, it's just another, just the next player that England media have found to just hate on. And it feels like it's just going to keep going until the summer. Now, because there's no international break until March, so Bellingham will go back and do whatever he does at Real Madrid, and England are just going to, every week there's going to be an article about Bellingham and basically referencing the furious England star, and to me it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be so tiresome, because I just don't get it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, I said it previously that I do think that Tuchel messed up when he made those comments about. Because what you do, when you make a comment like that, you invite people to speculate and to, do what they're doing, to stir the pot. So his remarks, even though he apologised for it and he said that and I think it was a genuine apology, he said he reached out to Bellingham behind the scenes and apologised and the apology was accepted. But once you've made that a statement like that, it does have a habit of coming back every time. It becomes a recurring theme, doesn't it? With regard to the latest so-called incident, which I'm with you, I don't see what the issue is. You show me a player that's happy to come off. And
exactly, that's what I mean. Maybe sometimes Bellingham should have been a bit more composed and then let his frustrations go when he was off camera or something. But at the end of the day, I've seen Cunha do that United this season. I've seen Bruno do it times before. I've seen so I'm sure Bukayo Saka, for example, who has probably done it at some point where he's been frustrated that he's come off and he's not necessarily needed to. And it's just I've seen Casemiro do it as well. And Casemiro's now
I
a
saw
fan favourite at
Haaland do it
United.
the other week when you remember when he
Yeah.
scored those 2 goals and Pep subbed him. He had a few words to say. I mean, Pep's here, and I'm pretty sure he's saying, "Why did you deny me from scoring a hat trick?"
I agree.
And Pep's
Yeah.
probably saying, "Look, we need to look after you." So,
And-
the one thing I would say though, and this is something that's emerged in the aftermath of the repulsive remark thing that Tuchel said, was that there has been some suggestions, and again, I don't know how true this is. I'm just telling you what I've picked up on, is that 1 or 2 of the England players have previously expressed a little bit of dismay about Bellingham because apparently he refuses to do media work, and that media work then falls upon other players to do. And there has been a suggestion that 1 or 2 players in the England camp were not happy with Bellingham because of that, and they felt that he might have been acting a little bit diva-ish. So maybe Tuchel has acknowledged that. He's very keen. He said he's on the record as saying he's very keen to establish a team that is where the morale and the relationships with the players are, as good as you can get. And he has said that he's very keen to replicate what Gareth Southgate had, which was that great team spirit and, everyone pulling for each other. So maybe he feels that there has to be an element of control over what Bellingham does. He doesn't want Bellingham to be that maverick that goes out on a limb and feels that he can be treated differently to the... So in other words, what I'm saying is he wants to bring Bellingham into line. So when things like what happened the other day, obviously the press play it up, and maybe Tuchel thinks I need to get a control of this because this is what I don't want to happen.
But
guy
then,
that's seemingly...
if you feel like he's in control of the incident, he then later said in his press conference, he said, I have to review it. I saw he was not happy. I don't want to make it a bigger moment than it is. My words stand. We are about standards, level and commitment to each other and respect to each other. We will not change our decision just because someone waves their arms. Like, it feels like Tuchel, like if he's saying, I have to review it, I might just being picky here a bit now, but I just don't feel it's the right way to deal with it. No. Like, you're not nipping it in the bud there. You're allowing... If he's saying, oh, I have to go and review this before I give an answer, it feels non-committal to being able to, like... What's the best way to say this? To help protect a player. Like, you're not protecting Bellingham there by saying, I'm going to review it. You just say, you privately, obviously, discipline how you feel is best to be disciplined behind closed doors, away from everyone else and away from judgment. But in that kind of moment, I'm just thinking, don't say I'm going to review it and do something, blah, blah, blah. Because you don't need to be neutral. You need to back your players. And the way that Tuchel handled it is, to me, just a little like... I feel like he just says some comments about some players which doesn't help. Miles Lewis-Skelly, for example. Like, his comments on... I know, like, the media obviously asking about Tuchel because he said something to start with that was a bit innocuous maybe about Miles Lewis-Skelly or not getting games and this and that, which may have put a bit of pressure on him. And then the media then blast Tuchel for putting pressure on Lewis-Skelly by saying he needs more games. But then the media themselves are also then creating that pressure by then asking more questions about it. And the whole machine, it just feels... It really gripes
onerous, me. Yeah. You know what? I think if you're a media person, especially in the written press, Tuchel must be a dream, innit? Because he's going to give you this copy that you want. I mean, you could make a comparison between how Tuchel's behaved with this hand gesture that Bellingham made, apparently, to what Thomas Frank did a couple of weeks ago with Jed Spence and Van der Ven. Remember they had that incident where
they didn't speak to each other after the game,
And then Thomas Frank was quite clever. He played it down, and then the next week, Van der Ven scores that brilliant goal in Europe. And then Thomas Frank then said, look, if he's going to play like that and score goals like that, he can ignore me every time if he wants. And everyone laughed it off, and it's become a bit of a non-issue now, hasn't it? Whereas with Tuchel, he revisits these things, he makes comments, he highlights it, and then the press run with it, and it gives it more oxygen. So I guess there are different ways to deal with it. I guess that's what I'm saying. And I can see what Tuchel's doing in a way. Like I said, he's trying to... Bellingham has a certain reputation. Diva-esque, I think, is what people have said. And I think he's trying to make it known to everybody, look, he's going to have to toe the line. Because even when he was... Remember, when he was left out of the England side, a lot of people raised their eyebrows at that. he said that Bellingham was injured, and apparently Belgium said, no, I'm fine. You know what I mean? So there's that little bit of tension going on. There's no doubt there is that. But hey, listen, if we go on and win the World Cup, then everyone will be saying he handled it brilliantly. I guess at the end of the day,
we'll see, yeah.
So we'll see.
Also, just some more news coming out. So yesterday we spoke about Semenyo because midstream, literally midstream as we were doing it. So me, you, and FJ yesterday when we sat here in the studio, Ornstein came out and released the 65 million release clause for Semenyo. So there have been a few updates on it. So I just want to give you a couple updates. So the 65 million pounds, for those who are watching who might not know, Telegraph have revealed that's actually 60 million pounds guaranteed, plus a further 5 million in add-ons, and then that drops in the summer to a fee that is over 50 million. The fee, if he doesn't go for 65 in January, which he reportedly is happy not to do. We were talking about yesterday about would he or would he not. Apparently he's fine with staying at Bournemouth, but if an offer comes in, he'll consider and potentially accept it. But then the fee that it drops to is above 50 million pounds, which is, so 50 million is what they rejected last summer. United and Spurs both bid 50 million pounds, got rejected, signed a new deal with the contract clause and everything. But it's come out from Nathan Salt, guy from Daily Mail. Great guy. No, you know him. He's a lovely guy. Basically says that Anthony Semenyo is one to watch for Manchester United, but that Liverpool are viewed as the front runners.
Wow.
I think if any club pay that 65 million in January, it's Liverpool. I don't see any other club doing it. Liverpool's the only one I can see who are genuinely going to go, yeah, we need it. Unless I see Arsenal potentially doing it if you were to be hit with some injuries. Let's say Eze was to be out for 3 months, or Saka was to be hit with another hamstring injury, or you to have a couple more attacking injuries. I can see you maybe doing it because I can see him being a player you're really interested in. But for me, obviously, that you can talk about what clubs are best, blah, 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 that he can join. For me, it's Liverpool. I feel like if he's going to go anywhere, it's going to end up being Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, with Arsenal, we do have cover on that left-hand side. I mean, Trossard recently signed a new contract. We've got Martinelli. Eze can play there as well. So we're adequately covered there. I don't think Arsenal would I'm not saying, I wouldn't use the word interested, because you're always interested when a good player becomes available, but I think we're covered. As for Liverpool, yeah, you're right. I could see Liverpool making that move. But then, as we said yesterday, that I would argue that their priorities should be invested in their defence, which so far this season has been less than stellar. And there is question marks.
It's a bit complimentary to say less than stellar.
Yeah,
it's been terrible.
Yeah, you could say that as well. So yeah, I would argue that they maybe need to prioritise other areas of the pitch than a left wing.
No, Liverpool, but yeah, I agree there are other areas of priority at Liverpool, but wide players is also just so just one of the comments is asking who we're talking about. Anton Semenyo. Is it Antoine?
I've always known it to be Antoine.
Antoine Semenyo. Yeah. I'll just stick to Semenyo for now.
Yeah.
I'll get confirmation how to say it later, unless someone in the comments can let me know. But for me, Semenyo, Liverpool just makes so much sense. Like they need a Salah successor. Semenyo's an Mbumo type player, and Mbumo I always saw as like the Salah successor. Like just the efficiency that they play football with. Semenyo, I see similar. The ball striking Semenyo has is so unique in the Premier League, and the way that he's got like the inevitability trait is what I call it about him. A few players, Ronaldo's got it, Messi's got it, Salah's had it for years, Haaland's got it, Harry Kane's got it. It's the trait of just like no matter what, something's going to happen, like moment of magic out of nowhere. For me, it's Liverpool and it's their wide positions.
Yeah, but I would imagine Liverpool are the forerunners.
Yeah, but do you not feel like you just said like Arsenal have made so many defensive signings in the last 4 or 5 years, right? You've like signed so many defenders, but attacking wise, you haven't gone to the same extent with that. But do you not feel that you're going to need attacking signings next summer? Like, is like Trossard, for example, are you okay with your left flank being Trossard, Martinelli and Eze going into next season? Same with your right flank still being Saka and Madueke. Your strikers still being just Gyökeres and Havertz. Are you not going to want new attacking players in the summer?
Yeah, I mean, football's a fast-moving game like that. So at the moment, we seem like we've got adequate cover. But, as the season progresses, you've got to see how those guys are playing and how they're doing each week. And if they fall below the standards required, then obviously you're going to look to improve that. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that people were really highlighting that left side of Arsenal's attack and saying it's a little bit weak. But so far, this season, I think it's held up quite well. And obviously Martinelli's out injured at the moment, but Trossard and Eze, who have shared that role, seem to have done quite well. Trossard's actually having a good season. So whilst things are operating the way they are, we're all right. But if a guy like that then becomes available...
But this is the thing, is he is available. He, like, flat out is available.
Yeah, well, so I would imagine that Arsenal will have a look at it. But then you've got to balance that against how we're doing in that area of the pitch already.
But surely it's not necessarily, don't just look at how you're doing at the moment, it's how you think you will look in the future. I can say in midfield at the moment, Casemiro's bossing it. But I'm not going to say, oh, we're fine then. I'm looking to, he's definitely not going to do that
Slightly
next season, or he might not do it in
Casemiro,
January.
given
No,
his
but
age.
I'm just giving an example in a way of, there's, like, you've got to look at how it's going to evolve in the next couple of years.
Yeah, that's true.
And
But
you
then
can't
you've also-
be, let's say you win the league title this season, you can't then go into the next season with absolutely no improvement up front, because you win the league, therefore means that City don't, means Liverpool don't, means that they're going to go and sign more players, they're going to sign new players, so you're going to have to upgrade just as much as they do.
That's true, but then you also got to balance up alongside other priorities in the team. What if Gyökeres was to pick up an injury, which he has at the moment? What if
Havertz
because
picks
they're
up
going to
yet
sell
another
Gabriel?
one. Yeah.
I would imagine in January, or if not January, certainly in the summer.
Yeah.
So we're going to need a replacement there. So you've got to balance it up with other priorities. But certainly they will look at it. I'm sure they will look at it and they will assess it accordingly.
You've got a, I just want to bring this up as well because we were talking about it earlier. Big game with Jamaica.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Curacao, 1 a.m. kickoff.
Yeah.
Do you want to, for those maybe who don't know, do you want to tell the camera just how big this game is?
I was saying to you off camera earlier, Dylan, I said that this game for Jamaica is massive for a number of reasons. Number one, Jamaica have not been to the World Cup since 1988. Football is massive in Jamaica, even though athletics is deemed as the national sport. Football is not far off. Jamaica is a football-loving country. We need this badly. You've seen the unfortunate events as well with the hurricane a few weeks ago. So the island, the country needs a boost, and Jamaica have an opportunity to get to the World Cup. This is their best opportunity they've had in a number of years. They were favourites to go through from this group. The qualification has not gone as well as people like myself would have expected, but it's in their hands tonight. They're at home in the National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica, playing Curacao, a team that previously you would have thought that Jamaica would have beaten. But Curacao, to be fair to them, have done really well. They lead the group by a point. All they need is a point today to go through. But if Jamaica can win, then we go through. We simply got to do it, man. It's a massive, massive game.
And obviously you mentioned the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, and so I was on I did a 3.5-hour live stream last night with Flex for United View.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really good fun. We had like Harry Panero was on there. I hosted a quiz. Joel Bayer came through. Robbie came through at one point towards the end as well. It was really great fun. But I do want to say, just for those of you guys watching as well, the GoFundMe is now just past £19,000.
Wow, already.
19 grand so far on the GoFundMe, and that doesn't include the super chats that we've been getting in and the revenue from the streams and all that and everything. So I do want to say a big up everyone who has donated. Thank you so much. And if you haven't yet, in the description, even if you got £1, if all of you right now watching gave £1, that was an extra £400. Do you see how this little bit of money can go so far? And I want to say, just big shout out also to everyone who's been involved in the last few days. But yeah, £19,000 is so that means so much.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I've already donated to both relief funds and to personal family members as well. So listen, it's great. It's a great thing. I've got to say that the support Jamaica are getting across the world has been really, really good to see. And long may it continue, because the devastation caused, especially in the western part of the country, was significant. So every little penny helps. Every little donation helps. So yeah, let's keep it going. But what I would say finally is that if Jamaica can get through to the World Cup, psychologically that would be a massive boost for the country. So let's hope they can do it tonight.
Yeah, and you're not the only one sat on this table with a big game on this evening.
Yeah, I'll be watching.
Some of you may have been watching me. No, I support Wales, my boys, and we have what is a mad game at home against North Macedonia tonight. North Macedonia in our group they've absolutely smashed it out of the park. So both Wales and Macedonia are on 13 points each. Macedonia are second, Wales are third, and then Belgium are top of the group with 15. It's Dead Kurt says you don't sound Welsh. No, Welsh by blood. So wasn't born in Wales, grew up in London, but Welsh by blood.
I don't sound Jamaican, but Jamaican's my heritage, just like Welsh is your heritage.
Yeah,
so.
But the game tonight, it's we played Liechtenstein, right? On when was it? On Saturday, I want to say. I believe it was. I believe it was Saturday. They've got a goal difference of -24, and we still managed to score only one goal against them. But I've never seen a Wales team create so many chances. Like we could so many chances, and we failed to score all of them. North Macedonia, like they've scored 12 goals this campaign, only conceded 3. We've scored 14 goals this campaign, but we've conceded 10. Belgium have scored 22 and conceded 7. So North Macedonia have conceded the fewest goals in our group so far. And it's like Belgium are playing, I can't remember who they're playing. They're playing Liechtenstein. So the only way that Belgium don't finish off this group is they lose to Liechtenstein, the team that are yet to score. In the 7 games they played in this group, they're the ones that Belgium are
to suggest that is not going to happen. Belgium will win and win comfortably.
But it's basically means Wales have a much lower goal difference than North Macedonia. It means that North Macedonia only need to not lose to get through to the qualification places, whereas Wales need to win. And the more that I'm talking about it now, my feet have started twitching on the floor because I'm starting to get really nervous about this because it's such a huge game for us, and our team is a bit. Obviously, not as good as the 2016 team, right? No. Once you lose Gareth Bale, you lose a lot. Like Aaron Ramsey, he doesn't get called up anymore. His contract in Mexico was terminated, I think, a couple of weeks back. Like he's still technically, I believe, the nation, the captain of the national team. Like Kane is captain of England, but he doesn't play anymore. Oh, but we do have a semi-strong backbone from Premier League sides. But then Ampadu got himself banned from this game. And Ampadu's been so good for us.
He's your captain, right? Ampadu.
I think it depends who's playing. I think Joey Rodon, I hope, will be the captain for this game. But it should be a really interesting game. So if you want a game of football to watch tonight, this game's kicking off at 7:45, and then if you want to stay up, the Jamaican game is at 1 a.m.
Scotland game. They've got a massive.
Scotland game as well. Yeah, hold on. Let me just get that up quickly. Yeah, so I see a couple of comments and mentioning the Scotland game. Where's it gone? Yeah, the game against Denmark. And
they win tonight, they're through. Simple as that.
Yeah, let me get the table up quickly. So yeah, Denmark are top of the group with 11. Scotland are then second with 10. So if Scotland win, they go through automatically. If they lose, they're in the playoff place. A lot like us and like Ireland were. Like Troy Parrott took Ireland to the playoff places. And obviously, if Denmark again, they need to not lose. Scotland need to win. So it's similar situation to what's happening.
Same with Jamaica.
If
Jamaica win, they're through.
Yeah.
If Curacao get a draw, they're through. If Jamaica don't get the result they need, then they go through to the playoffs. But they're at home. It's a massive game. They should win. Whether they will win or not, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's a surprising, I'd say, for the end of the international break, by the way, which I'm very thankful for that Premier League football is coming back soon. I'm at the stream on Friday. I'm going to be happier than I think I've ever been. Maybe not ever been, but just about football. And now I've got to wait till we're playing. United play with the Monday night kickoff.
Who you got?
We've got Everton at home, but it's 8 p.m. Monday with a Monday night football. It's so far away. I've literally still got basically
got a Monday
6
night
days.
feel to it, that game.
It does, doesn't it? Under the lights,
yeah.
Old Trafford. Yeah. You're gonna have Jamie Carragher's gonna be there, rinsing United, and then we'll see what happens.
David Moyes, your ex-manager.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll win. I hope we'll win. But there is a surprisingly good amount of football on tonight. Wales game, Scotland game, obviously Jamaica at 1 a.m. and I believe live stream as well, isn't it, for the Jamaica game?
Yeah.
Do you know who's on the live stream?
I think myself, Robbie. We've got some heavy hitters. Myself, Robbie. Not that I'm a heavy hitter, but Robbie is. Ty. I think we've got a couple other guys.
Is White Yardie going to be on?
Yeah, I think he's on.
He came on the UV stream actually as well.
Great.
So yeah, big up to him.
Yeah, man, big things. Yeah, so yeah, let's hope it works out, man. Let's hope so, because football, that is.
Crazy game.
It's a crazy game, and it means so much to a lot of people. I mean, even me, I'm nervous just thinking about that game tonight. Are
you going to be energy drinks? Or you just pure willpower, coffee man?
Drinks, man, but,
pure
but
willpower.
Just to vibe with the game It really is big in Jamaica, that part of the world.
Yeah.
This is a massive game. So
Yeah, and then once we're done, obviously I said, we've got the fantastic news of no international breaks until March. Yeah. And even next season, it's only 2 international breaks now before Christmas, not 3, because they got the 2-week one. But yeah, should be fun. But regardless, thank you guys so much for watching Live at 5 today. As I said, my name is Dylan. I'm your host today. I'm on Live at 5 till 6 p.m. every weekday. Tomorrow, Abby should be back, and me and Abby will be going through some of your hot takes. So if you want to get your comments in, there is a WhatsApp number. If you go at some point on the stream, it will come up on the camera, just on the screen, sorry, below me. There's a WhatsApp number to get your hot takes in. You can scan the QR code as well. There you go, that side. Get your hot takes in videos on, or just send them in to me on Twitter, Instagram, something. Get your hot takes, and me and Abby will go through them. But regardless, thank you so much for coming on today, Laurie.
No, bro, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, and best of luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Apart from that,
and same to you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So apart from that, I will see you guys tomorrow here at 5 p.m. for another episode of Live at 5. Peace.
Hi, and welcome along to the best of enemies. Hey, you looking trim though?
You've been running from the show.
Don Robbie is here in
Here
Saudi
we go,
Arabia.
man.
What about your team?
It's not about Man United right now.
I'm on Saudi Arabia, man. They ain't gonna let me down. What an exciting game.
You were robbed.
You weren't
That
robbed.
was
It was
offside.
VAR.
We are here today for the burial of Arsenal's Premier League dreams.
How you doing, Rob?
How are you, bro?
Well, none of you two can talk to me because at least we challenge for the league. Al Riyadh, they're taking on Al Nassr today. Big game. One of the biggest games of the season.
Do you know how shameless you are, bro? You're supposed to be winning the league, but you're doing a hate-along, bro.
I've been chased by a tractor. You've brought in opera singers. When you say Tottenham, you put respect on us.
Depart the room for about the next 5 minutes or so
How?
because we're going to talk about the Champions League. Who would have thought a Tottenham fan, a Manchester United fan, and an Arsenal fan would get along? Well, sometimes.
1-0 up. It's a really Casemiro thing to do. 1-0 up against Liverpool. Absolutely fine. 82% possession. He goes and